Do the Bochhauw thus. When the two of you stand before one another in bogan, in a high parrying, and neither will cut before the other, but each waits for the other's stroke, then sink down before him, and cut straight before you, in against his Dussack, so that you hit his chest with your hilt, so strongly that his Dussack rebounds toward his face once or twice. Thus you compel him to work, and as soon as he goes up, step out on his left side, and cut beside his hilt in at his face, or undertake another device that is more appropriate for you, once you have driven him up. The Bochhauw in Meyer's 1570 treatise is a secondary cut which is not very frequently discussed, and there seems to be a point of confusion around. The Bochhauw is typically conceptualized as either a punch with the guard of the Dussack as if it was a pair of knuckle dusters, or simply a beat to an opponent who is standing in bogan. The problem with both of these interpretations of Bochhauw is they don't seem to fulfill what Meyer is talking about. Meyer is describing an action where you're causing your opponent's Dussack to bounce off of them multiple times and compelling them to abandon bogan in order to fight you in some other way. Simply beating at an opponent standing in bogan will not cause enough force for this to happen most of the time. Bogan is just too powerful of a posture for a simple beat to completely defeat that posture. So instead, we've conceptualized the Bochhauw a little different. If you read the first section of the Bochhauw, Meyer is saying, when both of you stand in bogan, and neither will cut before each other, but each wait for the other's stroke. At no point in time does Meyer advise that you leave bogan in order to do the Bochhauw. So rather than dropping our hilt and raising our point and doing a percussive strike, we're simply staying in bogan and delivering the cut from bogan towards our opponent's bogan. Simply pushing them up, pushing them in, and then working from there, as Meyer seems to be advising. To explain our interpretation of the Bochhauw in plain English, what we're doing is simply standing before one another in bogan, and when we see that our opponent refuses to leave bogan, we are punching forward with the hilt of our Dussack towards our opponent's face or chest while remaining in bogan. This will press our opponent's sword in against themselves, trapping it. From there, it's very easy to work. You can grab your opponent's hand and then perform a slicing action towards their face, or you can trap the hand out and thrust in towards their chest. Once you've performed this trapping action, though, it is extremely easy to work, and just do whatever feels most natural to you.